All right, so here's my Unit 2 review guide. First of all, make sure that you look at the Unit 2 Released Multiple Choice Questions document. That document is available to your teacher. She or he can't let you take that from the classroom, but looking at this document and going through the previous multiple choice questions from the AP exam, in my opinion, is by far the best way you can prepare for this exam. You also want to make sure that you take time to look over some sample free response questions related to Unit 2. So I've picked several, 4 or 5, and linked them here. This link will take you to the question. So I would ask that you write out some sample responses, and then the document also contains the scoring guidelines. So make sure you take time to go through the scoring guidelines, grade your own paper, and see how you would have done on that question. These two are by far the most valuable ways to prepare for the exam. Next, I want you to make sure that you do understand all the information on the following slides. There's lots of little videos linked in to help you. Watch the videos for topics that you don't understand. You're not going to have time to watch them all. Watch the ones for topics that you don't understand and make sure that you understand those before you take this test. And then finally, if there's something that you want to look at more deeply or that you just don't understand at all, I've linked up right here the complete Unit 2 set of notes. Here are the most important things to know from Unit 2. First of all, make sure you know what's meant by emerging properties and how they're important in biology. Make sure you can describe the differences and similarities, for that matter, between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Make sure that you can describe the eukaryotic organelles, both in terms of their structure and their function, the things they do. Make sure you can describe how that we think eukaryotic cells evolved from prokaryotic ancestors. They love to ask about endosymbiosis or endosymbiotic theory, and also membrane invagination theory on the AP exam. Make sure that you can use the AP biology formula sheet to calculate the surface area, the volume, and the surface area to volume ratio of a cell, and that you can describe the importance of that surface area to volume ratio to the ability of a cell to transport materials. Essentially, it's important for you to know that a higher surface area to volume ratio typically means a cell's better able to transport materials. Make sure you can describe the fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane and the structures that make up the cell membrane and their functions. Make sure you can describe factors that affect the ability of a substance to either enter or exit a cell. Describe the structures and the functions that make up the endomembrane system. That's become a favorite topic of AP exam question writers. Be able to describe the most important mechanisms of cell transport: diffusion, osmosis, facilitated diffusion, active transport. They've asked about co-transport the last couple of years. That one's tricky, so take time to look closely at that one. Teachers oftentimes don't talk about this one in class. Also, methods of bulk transport like phagocytosis and pinocytosis and exocytosis. Finally, you want to be able to calculate water potential of a solution, and you want to be able to use that water potential to predict the direction in which water will move. Remember that water is always going to move from areas of higher water potential to areas of lower water potential. There's lots of sample problems linked up later in this presentation. There's also a video that walks you through how to do those calculations.